welcome in, welcome in. Hello. Sorry for the delay. We are here. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we are here. We are here. As you come in, say hi. As you come in, say hello. I just want to make sure that we are ready to rock and roll here. Okay. So, all right. Oh, 1 minute. As you come in, say hi. Say hello. As you come in. All right, view on Facebook. 1 minute, y'all. We're having a. So we tonight we have a special treat with.
You went out, Juanita.
Can you hear me, Iris?
There you go. There you go, sis.
Okay. All right. So we are.
You keep going out. Well, that's
Well,
Juanita,
please.
everyone. That's Juanita. Everybody. Say hi to Juanita.
I'm sorry. It's me, y'all. It's me. Just I was having. I lost my connection, and it said I lost connection to the round table. So I want to make sure that we're in there. So we have Iris on tonight. Wow, she is going to introduce herself. My name is Juanita. I am the CEO of the Round Table, and I started this back in this year. So we're gonna have a treat tonight with Iris, and I'm gonna get quiet as I go behind the scenes and let you take over, my sister. You can go ahead.
All right. Good evening to everyone, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Iris Rose, for anyone that doesn't know me. I welcome everyone to the Around Table with Juanita. And so just a little background, because I want to jump into this framework, which is the highlight for tonight. We do have an amazing slideshow presentation to go along with this. Unfortunately, it is not coming up right now, but we move forward anyway, right? So anyway, my name is Iris, and I am a motivational speaker. I am a teacher. I am a mother. But most of all, I am here. I believe my calling is to encourage other people, which is why I am here on Juanita's platform tonight. So many of us have heard this cliche-ish saying that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me. But we all know that that is a lie from the pit of hell, because words do hurt and words can tear down. But the good news is that words can also build up. And a lot of times we say things and we send it out into the atmosphere, and it's like a spiritual container. You really cannot get back what you say. You could apologize, you could rephrase, you could try to coat things over. But the fact of the matter is, you have released those words. That is why we need to be so mindful and careful of what we say. So, this framework is a communication framework that I want to share with you on this evening. And the name of it is I Said This, You Heard That. Because when we talk about relationships, we're not just talking about the person that we're with, right? Our boo, our spouse, our life partner. We relate on many levels. So we're talking about not only marriages or people that are in a partner situation, but when we talk about relationships, we're talking about children and parents. We're talking about your colleagues, your coworkers, your neighbors, the people that are in your sorority or fraternity, the people that you're in other organizations with. You always have to relate and communicate with someone on some degree, right? Because we don't live in this world by ourselves. And isn't it amazing how you could say one thing and one person will receive it totally different from the way another person receives it? And that is why we are here to talk about our innate wiring. So this program, and again, I apologize that you don't have the screen. So I'm just actually going to pull it up so that I could follow along, because yes, I am a teacher at heart. And so I have to follow agenda and I need some visual aid. So just hold on one moment. So tonight's agenda, we want to talk about exactly what the framework is, the history of it. We want to talk about the difference between personality and temperament, pardon me. We want to talk about the blueprint of the framework. And then we want to take any questions that you might have, or any comments, any feedback. So the title of this work is I Said This, You Heard That, and Kathleen Edelman is the author. But this is a historic work that she has put into this framework to help us to become better communicators. So it goes all the way back even before Christ, with the father of medicine, Hippocrates, who then passed it down to Galen, who then has passed it down to many of the Greek philosophers, because they realized that the way that the human body is orchestrated, how we differ, that it can be categorized into 4 temperaments. And that is why you have the Greek names, which we'll talk about in a minute. So what Kathleen Edelman did is that she based this whole framework understanding the way people are wired, and then using the proper wording to help them to feel built up, because we want to speak to people and we want to build them up. We don't want to tear them down, right? We want to be encouraging. We want to be positive. We want to speak life, because we understand that our words have power. So Ephesians 4:29 is not just a scripture from the Bible, but it should be a way of life. It should be a way that helps us and leads us and guides us in our communication. So the scripture reads like this: do not let any wholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those that listen. Because what comes out of your mouth, what is the impact? What are you releasing from are you releasing virtue from your mouth? Are you releasing blessings from your mouth? Are you releasing things that help people to feel encouraged and empowered? So now she takes this scripture, Ephesians 4:29, and this framework basically puts legs on that scripture, because that's what we are. We're walking billboards. So as we journey in this life, and as we embrace the importance of wholesome communication, words that build, then we become contagious to those around us. They want to do the same thing. So we want to now begin to understand, well, where does this temperament come in? Before we get into the 4 temperaments, we have to understand the difference between a personality and a temperament. So a personality is your behavior, right? It's your beliefs, your emotions, your feelings. And so it evolves over time. And it can be affected by your birth order. Like I know for me personally, I'm the baby girl, I'm the youngest. So that will shape and mold your personality. It can also be impacted by your religion, your beliefs, your culture, your gender. So your personality can evolve over time, where it's different. I saw your hand, Juanita, but I'm just going to finish the temperament part.
No, sister, keep going. I was saying hi.
Okay, well, hello, Juanita, on your platform. You going in and out, but that's okay, because I'm going forth. So your personality is different from your temperament. Now, this is what we really need to hone in on, because your temperament is how God wired you. Like why it's the why behind your personality. So there's a difference. So like why I do the things I do, why I do the things I do, why I am the way I am. So, so this is your temperament, right? So this is how you are naturally predisposed. So it's your innate wiring. So really this is what you're born with. Just like your fingertips has your a print that it only belongs to you. Your voice only belongs to you. Your eye color, these are things that it's like your default setting, right? And so it influences your temperament, influences every single decision that you make in life. And it's something that is natural, like your first language. And you just go to it, and that is just the way that you speak, and that is the way that you communicate. So again, your temperament, you may not even really understand what your temperament is. And that is why you need to get the book. Let me hold it up. Since my slides aren't working, let me hold up my book. There it is. That's what it looks like. All right. So in this book, it's what she did was she took what Hippocrates started centuries ago, and she now has stood upon Ephesians. Anyone that's just tuning in, good night and good evening. 4:29, and she has created this awesome framework. Okay, so that we can become better communicators. And she breaks it down into a 6-week program. So this is just an overview of the program. And so what you need to do if you want to know what your temperament is, because I know you're curious, right? So if you want to know what your temperament is, you have to take the assessment. So it takes about 20 minutes. And what you do, it's a simple equation. Once you answer all the questions, and then you find out what your temperament is. And again, my apologies that the screen is not up so that you cannot follow along with tonight's presentation. But the 4 temperaments, again, you can't run from it. You can't avoid it. You can't hide it from it, because again, this is your innate way of being wired. This is the way that you were born. So let me just put this out there before we get into the 4 temperaments. We never want to make excuses for some of the things that we do and some of the things that we say and the ways that we are, because I know that's often a crutch that we will utilize to say, you know what, that's how I roll. That's how I get down. We are always striving for betterment. We are always striving. Someone said, please okay, that's you, Juanita. All right. That's why I need to just stay focused on what I'm saying. So we're always striving for betterment and excellence, and not giving ourselves, this is the way that I was taught. This is the way that I was raised. And, this is just how I'm flowing. All right. So with these 4 temperaments, which is why I have on this yellow blazer tonight, because going back to the Greek philosophers, they gave 4 words. And what this framework does, to make it a little bit easier for those of us that are visual and need a little extra assistance, she breaks it down into colors. So sanguine is the first temperament, which is mine. That's why I wore yellow, because if you decide to take the class, and the class is free of charge, it's just a sacrifice of love to help you to better communicate with your loved ones and the people that you surround yourself with. So sanguines, it's like each temperament speaks a language, right? So if you are sanguine, then you are the language of people and fun. And you know this when you take your assessment, right? And that color is yellow. So now those of us, we want it to be interactive. So when you think about the color yellow, what are some adjectives that you might use when you think about yellow? Because I'm sure when you think about that color yellow, it will probably line up with the temperament of people who are this sanguine temperament. And so the reason why the framework is so important and crucial is because once you understand how someone is wired, and we learned this in the class, is you learn, well, a person who is a sanguine, what are the words that I need to help build them up? Because what helps build up a sanguine may not be, which is the second one, the red color, and type in the chat box. When you think about the color red, what do you think about? What are some words that pop into your mind when you think about the color red? Because that's our second temperament, which is choleric. Now, the choleric people, these people are strong. Not saying that sanguines aren't, but these people speak the power of the language, pardon me, of power and control. And usually that is what red is known as. Red is like a bold color. Red like commands the room, so to speak. Blue really commands the room, but you know, they say red. And so again, as I am learning about the temperaments, and so if someone said rage. So if my child, like, and this is a good activity for you to do as a family. Let me backtrack. In your office, in your ministry, right? With a girlfriend circle, you know, this is a good activity because it's going to help you to be more cognizant of what you say, how you say it, and who you say it to. Does it mean that we walk on eggshells? Absolutely not. We don't walk on eggshells. But again, I believe that we are here to help be a blessing to one another, to build one another up. So we have sanguine, which is yellow. Juanita, can you help me? Can you play Vanna White, sis?
Sanguine is yellow.
Can you hold up in your book? In your book, can you hold up page 15?
Okay.
No, can you go to page 15? And I'm sorry, we have to do it old school because the slides, it just, everything wasn't connecting. But again, it's okay because we're not going to say it. There we go. Yep. So they could get a visual. All right. So then we have the yellow, the sanguine, they speak the language of people and fun. You have the cholerics, which are red, the language of power and control. And then you have the green people. You have the phlegmatics. Now, what comes to mind when you think about the color green? Let me give you a moment to put that in the chat. So when you think of green, you know, or maybe there's some things that you can relate to the color green, right? Like grass. Okay. So even in that, you know, like when someone walks outside in the grass, you know, what might that simulate?
Money.
Hello. Okay. That's one. So phlegmatics speak the language of calm and harmony. Calm and harmony. Then we have the final temperament, which is blue. And you could put in the chat, what do you think of when you think of blue, right? What are some words that would describe blue?
Feeling,
or things that symbolize blue? All right. So this final temperament, these are our melancholics. So you like melancholy, and you see that there are a lot of words that stem from these Greek words, because we have, again, sanguine. For those, I keep repeating because I know some people are just chiming in. So we have sanguines, yellow. Red are cholerics, are phlegmatic. Those are the calm and harmony people. They're green. And now we have blue. And these people speak the language of perfection and order. So in this class, this temperament class, you will begin to unpack each temperament so that you can, again, better relate to the person. And then one of the things that I love in this class is because it is very eye-opening, and it causes us to be very reflective, not only upon ourselves, but others. And then and let me just put this disclaimer out there. Iris is not a therapist, not yet, not legally, even though I do it on the side. But you know what I'm saying? I'm always giving people a therapeutic thought. But what it does is you begin to go around, and it gives you more patience and grace towards others, because you could be in the supermarket, and even though the person didn't take the assessment, based on the way that the cashier is interacting with the customers, you'll begin to play a little therapy there, and you'll say, I bet you she's a choleric. I bet you know what? I have a lot of people that are chiming in and saying that they can't get in.
Oh. Hold on. Wait, where everybody coming from? Tinky, Stephanie, where are you guys watching from? So I'll know. Let me know where you guys come because I have my YouTube open and I'm from there. So let me know. Can anybody see it on my main page? Okay, so Stephanie's on YouTube. So Tinky, are you on YouTube? I sent to Tink. Oh, YouTube. Okay, so give me 1 minute, y'all, because it seems like we're not on. Everybody who's on here look like they're on from YouTube. Am I correct? So 1 minute, y'all. Can we pause? Everybody put a pause right there. Let me check. Put a pause on Iris.
Okay.
No, it's
And I'm
it's
gonna
not
try to
on your
get my
main.
slides to work in the meantime.
Yes, 1 minute. Don't y'all go nowhere. I see everybody name me here. I want to see y'all come back here. You here? Hold on. Can y'all still see my face? Cause I can't do anything right now about it. If I'm too close, y'all forgive me. Yeah. Okay, let me see. Save changes. Okay. View on Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah, a whole bunch of people are saying that they're waiting on Facebook. It just says starting soon. I'm getting text messages.
All right, 1 minute. 1 minute.
Okay, anyone that's tuning in, thank you, Stephanie, for responding. Anyone that's tuning in, we're having a little bit of difficulty with technology, which is my absolute favorite thing in the world. So Juanita, who is the host of this A Round Table podcast, she is trying to work things out. But I will just talk because I'm skilled at that. So for those, again, that are just coming in, my name is Iris Rose. I am the CEO of the Apple I Movement, and I am here to share a communication framework um, based on the four temperaments, which are in Greek words because it dates all the way back before Christ, from the father of medicine, Hippocrates. So this work is actually not something that is new, but something that this woman, Kathleen Edelman, turned into a framework so that you and I can communicate better and that we can understand how we are wired, how others are wired, so we know how to proceed with caution and with the love of God. So that's really it, and the purpose of us being here on tonight. And actually, I was introduced, just to give you a little background information. I was introduced to this framework when a friend of mine, this was right before the pandemic, a friend of mine invited me to take the course with her family. I had no idea. I had never heard of the four temperaments. I had no knowledge of it, but it made me, from that moment to this one, it made me a different person because it made me more aware of really how my words impact others. So it was a blessing. And then during the pandemic, I taught this class with some assistance from that same friend to my family so that they too can have stronger, because that's what it's about, having stronger ties and better relationships with people. Because, our words matter, our words have power. And just like the scripture that this whole framework stands on, we don't want anything that is not wholesome, not health. We want only healthy words coming out so that the listener, the person that is on the receiving end, will feel built up and empowered and not crushed and discouraged. So Juanita is still working things out. So I am just going to continue. I don't know how many people have joined us. I see a lot of people on YouTube coming in. So this book, actually the way, and it's funny because after this is just an overview of the course. And then I'm opening it up for a class. It's a 6-week program, but it's going to bless you. It's going to bless you, and it's going to open up your eyes, and it's going to help you to be a better friend, a better human, a better mommy, daddy, whatever you are, because communication is what we do, right? We communicate and relate one to another. So the way this class is designed, it's supposed to be an act of love and just one person sewing into another. And it really doesn't take you having a counseling background to be able to even teach it yourself. If you want to get together your family or a group of people that you care about, even your coworkers, people in your organization, so that you all, because sometimes there's a breakdown in communication because we don't understand how one another might innately be predisposed to be a certain temperament. And that, again, if I could have stated things differently based on what I know about you, then that's on me. Because if I know that the sanguine is built up when someone, because sanguines, when let me just backpedal a little bit. That's why I'm wearing yellow. So when I took the assessment, I actually was surprised because, again, there are 4 temperaments, different from personality. And so when I took my assessment and it came out that I was sanguine, which is the language of people and fun, I was surprised because, I do like people. I do like to have fun. So it's just like, why didn't you think you were sanguine? Because there's so many other attributes that go with it. And some of them I really didn't want to admit that that's part of how I am wired. Like sanguines seek approval. Maybe where someone that is a choleric, that's the red, who speak the language of power and control, that they may not seek approval of others. And then you have, the phlegmatic. So just like there's a power, there's a language of love that they all speak. There are also, like anything else, there are a lot of strengths, and then there are also weaknesses. So I think that was it. And when you do take the assessment, you're going to have a dominant temperament. So you're either going to be melancholic, phlegmatic, choleric, or sanguine. Now, sometimes it's rare because it happened with my cousin. Sometimes when you take the assessment and you do your final tallying, you will see that your temperament, you have a dual temperament. So you could be two. Like my cousin, it was when she tallied it, it was equal. It was between phlegmatic and melancholic. So, and then, so, but that is very unique, I guess, which speaks to the person's temperament, right? But then most of us have a dominant temperament, and then you have what they call a secondary temperament. And so sometimes those, because again, it would have been helpful if we had the slides, you'll see that some of the temperaments lean more towards being extroverted and people oriented, while you have some that are more introverted, and they like their quiet time and their away time from people. And I know this seems like very simplistic because we don't want to unpack every single thing and give it to you in one little snapshot on tonight, but we really want to encourage everyone to take the 6-week course. The only thing that you need to commit to is joining the class, so it would be via Zoom. And then what you would do is you have a video every week to watch. It's not that long, but remember, you're investing in yourself and your relationship, so it's worth it. So you do and then you have some questions that you need to answer, so that when we come together to meet on Zoom once a week for like 45-minute class, we will unpack those discussion questions. And I'm telling you, sometimes there are tears that are shed because it is such an epiphany moment. It is such an awakening moment for you to realize, had I said things differently, had I done things differently, I would have had a different outcome. And again, you can't get back the words. So from this day forward, we want to move forward, knowing the importance of words. So again, I'm continuing. I don't know what happened to our host, but so we went through the difference between personalities and also temperaments. Okay. And we talked about the 4 temperaments. Now, one of the things that we will get in this 6-week course is what they call filling the tank. So each temperament, just like a car, when we say temperament, that temperament belongs to a human being. So just like your car obviously needs gas in order for it to go, for it to help you to get from point A to point B. And what happens when your tank is half full? What happens when your tank is empty? What does that look like? What does that feel like? No one wants to run on empty. No car is able to run on empty. So when you take that and you begin to look at a human being, and so now if you are like married to someone who is a melancholic, for example, or your boss is a melancholic, right? And so those are the people that speak the language of perfection and order. They don't like things in disarray. So protocol, decency, those things are very important to them. It may not be to you, but it is to them. Iris, it's open. Okay, great. So now come back on. Okay.